having here. I did not expect a storm like this. He says, I hate to make you feel this way, but if you have questioned the journey back, you're more than welcome to spend the night.
I don't want to feel more obligated than I already do, but I greatly appreciate your offer, and I think I will accept. I came here on foot, and with your
Oh,
increased firewolf population,
mm, yes, they certainly don't like the rain, he
yes,
says.
they could probably get more agitated if someone was walking near their territory.
Possibly so, he says.
I accept your offer. I just give a look around.
Um, Basically, both of the half-orcs kind of sit in like the little living room-ish area. They each got a little chair. He says, you're more than welcome to the guest room. I've only got the one. He says, it's just opposite of my room, right upstairs, to the right.
I ask, would I be taking it away from either of these two?
Oh no, don't be silly, these two don't have a bedroom. They're fine right here in the chairs. They kind of give you a look, the same look, as if to tell you something that you should already know.
I understand what they're trying to get at. I just, without arousing too much suspicion from the owner, I just give a look past him to them like I know. Just kind of like I'm staring off into space, but in their direction.
Gert kind of gives like a semi-nod and kind of a little grunt to himself. Um, Radif says, I normally stay up a little while and read a little bit. You may retire at your own leisure. Please don't let me keep you up, he says as he uh, sits around the little small fire he has started and opens up a book.
I start heading up to bed. Will I be walking past the two in the chairs?
You're kind of like in the living room you're kind of in the uh, archway before the stairs. But he's
Okay.
kind of turned himself towards the fire. He's not looking in your general direction.
I just raise the arm slightly with the sleeve that I hid the key, and I just pat it
Um,
when I walk up the stairs, letting those two know.
Derb kind of points in the general direction you remember where the barn was. That's
I
about
nod.
it. Um, and you head upstairs.
Yes.
You get to the top of the stairs, and there's a door to the left, a door straight, a door to the right. The door to the left is a little bit open, and you can tell it's a bedroom. The door straight ahead of you looks like a pantry or a storage, and the door to the right is closed.
Okay.
You said your room was the one to the right.
Yes. I enter that room.
It's a small little bedroom. It does not look to be too overly furnished. It looks set up like a guest room. You know, a bed, a dresser, and the chest. Excuse me. The common essentials, and a small window that looks outside.
Mm-hmm.
There's a small little gas lamp on the dresser, as well as
Is
some
the window a
candles.
sealed window, or can it be opened?
This is actually a glass window. You were actually a little bit surprised to see they actually have glass in this ranch, but you can expect a little bit otherwise, as they are a wealthy ranch. But as rustic as this farmhouse looked, you were kind of surprised to see glass in the windows.
Can
But
it be opened?
it does not. It is a fully fold-in window. This one does not look like it appears to be openable.
Solid pane?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Alrighty then. Um, I close the door and actually just sit next to the door, listening hard until the owner goes to bed.
It's about 30 minutes or so before you actually hear anything. Um, you start hearing what sounds like some arguing from downstairs. You can't quite make out what's going on, but you can tell that Pharrell's probably arguing something.
I just pull out my ball of moss and water it a bit. Just waiting for him to calm down and leave for the night. Take his leave for the night.
The arguing actually starts to turning into shouting.
Okay, now I need to listen in.
It's still hard to make out what he's saying, but he's shouting some pretty angry things, presumably to these half-orcs. To which you hear him trudge into what sounds like the dining room area and come back, and you hear kind of the orcs kind of whimper of sorts, which is very rare. You don't believe you've ever heard a half-orc whimper or hear of any one of them whimper. To which you promptly hear 3 quick strikes with a crack of a whip. Some more yelling. A little bit more shouting.
I can't listen anymore, and now I understand exactly what's going on here.
And then you hear footsteps approaching up the stairs.
Okay. Are they the heavy footsteps, or they might be his footsteps?
You're pretty sure it's Pharrell. They don't seem to
Okay.
be heavy footsteps.
Okay, then. Has he gone to his room, or is he
He
trudging
hits-
around elsewhere?
He hits the top of the steps and he kind of stops short of your door. You're not sure if he's like leaning in to listen to you or what, but it just sounds like he's kind of almost at your door. And you hear the little pantry open, you hear a few things root around inside. Pantry is shut. And then you hear his door open, but not close.
Okay, he's probably going to keep his door open throughout the night to make sure that I stay in my room.
You promptly hear a knock on your door.
I make a sound like getting out of bed. And then walk to the door slowly and open it.
Just like enough to see who's out there kind of deal?
Yes.
You see Pharrell standing there. He appears to be out of his average, where he seems to be in more comfortable wear, not like quite pajamas, but like he's stripped off his work clothes kind of deal. He says, "Can I get you anything? Do you need any water, anything before you go to bed? I didn't wake you, did I?" He says.
Oh no, I have a dwarf as a roommate. You have to sleep pretty soundly.
"Ah," he says, giving you a slight chuckle. "Nothing," he says. "You good?"
Nope. I've still got plenty of water in my bag. I should be fine. I don't want to inconvenience you any more than I have.
"Oh, it wouldn't be a trouble at all," he says. I'm sure we can get you anything."
I'll be alright, but I do appreciate it greatly.
As well, you're more than welcome to set off in the morning if the storm is cleared, and you're of course more than welcome to stay and we'll have breakfast as well.
I state with all sincerity, but everyone else can probably know it's a jab. You're a very kind man. Thank you.
You see his very, semicircular neon eyes just kind of look into you, as he doesn't seem to flinch from that comment, like almost as if he knows you know something now. He says, "Yes, thank you."
No, I say it with all sincerity to him. I mean it with all my heart. You're a very kind person.
As he turns around and goes back towards his room. You see him disappear around the corner, like around maybe where his bed would be or something.
Okay. I just gently close my door and shuffle back into the bed. Or so he just making the sounds shuffle into the bed.
You still hear the large commotion of rain and thunder as the storm goes on. The wind's kicked up a little bit more, and you hear that large bellowing once more.
Okay. How long do you think I have to wait before he's asleep?
You're not sure. He's disappeared, and around the corner. You didn't peek into his room to see what his room looks like, really, but you don't hear any sounds from him. You are not sure if he's gone to bed, if he's reading, or what.
Okay.
You wait a few more minutes and you hear that bellowing once more, and then you quickly hear the hurried footsteps of presumably Pharrell racing down the steps again.
Okay. I would like to, since he's not going to be there, I want to quickly use my ball of moss and the plant eye thing. I want to grow the ball of moss into something roughly the size of my body and shove it in the bed and cover it up. Like that pillow body thing.
Okay, you believe you can do that, no problem. Roll it. Roll to see how well you are skilled in your magic abilities.
I got 16.
Good enough. You managed to form. It's not too pretty, but it's about your size. As ball of moss grows to a good little form of you, which you promptly cover over with a few bed sheets and all that are on the bed. Of course, that will take away. Let's say that'll take about a good 20 mana from you, as you are still. This is still new to you.
No problem. Has he come up the stairs yet?
As far as you can tell, he's gone out of the house. He is. You think you heard the front door close, or a door close.
I want to carefully start making my way out of the house.
You make your way down to the bottom of the steps, and the.
Did I close my door behind me?
You can if you want.
I would like to make sure that it stays the same way that he left it.
You close the door behind you. You make your way down the steps, and before you even hit the bottom, you hear soft, not sobbing, but sniffling, if anything.
I don't think I have much time. I don't want to... I want to go look and ask if it... But I don't at the same time.
You just want to peek around the corner, then?
Yes.
Okay. You peek around the corner enough to notice that you can't tell because they're both facing away from you, but one of the half-orcs has some pretty good lashing marks on his back, and the other one's trying to dab it with some cloth and such. It doesn't look like that was pretty.
I want to roll a health potion over to them.
Okay.
Would they know what that is?
You're not sure.
Okay, then I walk over, making sure that they know it's me.
Derb kind of jumps as he realizes you're right behind him, and Gert doesn't really flinch. He's still kind of keeping to himself.
I hand one to them and say, "Share this, it'll help. Drink it. Take some of the pain away."
As he quickly takes the health potion and gives it to Gert, to which he starts tenderly sipping it. As Derb will begin to attend to his wounds.
I'll start. I just say I'll start to make this right, and I sneak out.
You see the front door has been opened in a hurry. It doesn't look like it's latched back fully, like something has just gone through it. You're pretty sure that Pharrell went through here through a hurry. Before you make it out the door, Derb kind of looks back and says, "Bad juju in the bar. Careful."
I give them a nod and head out.
It is pouring down rain. There is no lights as far as you can tell. You look over in the general area of the barn. There seems to be a single lantern moving around, which you try and focus your vision, which you can now probably guess is Pharrell. He's wrapped up in a big cloak, like a rain cloak he's put on, and he's carrying a lantern as he enters the barn. You hear that awful bellowing once more.
I want to sneak to the side of the barn and...
Between the farmhouse and the barn, there is the proper stables you could sneak to. That's the only thing between the house and the barn.
That's probably a good idea. Solid snake my way over there using the barn as a
That's the one with all the horses in it.
Yeah, the stable. Let's go to that one, but don't go in. I want to just stick to the side of it in the shadows.
All right. You kind of peer in. A lot of the horses seem to be asleep, and some of them seem to be kind of a little bit agitated by the storm, but they're not panicking or anything. Are you like hiding around the back of the stable, like near the fence?
More towards one of the sides of the stable.
Alright, there's like the
Kind
side of the
kind of like
stable you can go around the front or the back of it to get to the other side kind of deal.
uh, the front probably would be a good idea.
Alright, you start sneaking away around the front, kind of clinging to the sides.
I don't want to draw any attention to firewolves on the fence line, so that's...
You kind of stop short of the corner, and you're just waiting to see any other further activity. There does not appear to be any really windows in this barn. You do see the hayloft way up on the second story that has a little bit of light emanating out of it. And you hear that horrible bellowing again, and it sounds louder, and you're pretty sure whatever that is in the barn. You then see the door promptly fly open, a lantern placed at the foot of the door, and you see this cloaked figure rush around the corner of the barn carrying some large, looks like a barrel as far as you can tell.
Okay.
You then feel something tugging on your hair.
I slowly look up, just very cautiously just look up.
You are met with a large blast of hot breath in your face as you now realize a horse has leaned its head out of its stable and is chewing on your hair.
I kind of brush my hair out of its mouth and move away from the window.
The horse stares at you.
I move to the other side of the barn so the horse will just go away.
The horse walks away, pulls its head back into the stable.
Do I see, has the cloaked figure gone back to the house yet, or no?
The barn door still is wide open with that lantern sitting at the foot. You now see the cloaked figure emerge from the barn again. You can only assume he either went in through a back door or he went back in while you were looking at the horse, and pulls out another large barrel and seems to be pulling these barrels around the far side of the barn. You sit there and watch as he pulls about 3 or 4 barrels out of the barn. The bellowing has stopped as far as you can tell as he comes back, and he picks up his lantern and promptly shuts the barn door behind him, and you hear what sounds like a lock latching as he begins to make his way back towards the farmhouse. From his current position, you believe he's going to walk like right in front of you, like he's going to see you.
I want to duck behind the back of the barn, where he hopefully cannot see me.
Alright, you manage to duck behind the back of the barn as you assume it's far too rainy for him to see anything.
Yes.
He makes his way splish-splashing back towards the house, and you see him go up to the front porch and as he disappears.
Okay.
To which you instantly hear more shouting, sounds like echoing from inside the house. Angrily shouting.
I'm going to start just heading to the barn. I helped them all I could then. I'm going to keep helping them now.
You make your way to the barn. The barn door has an obvious padlock on it.
I use the key.
Key works. The lock opens right up.
I make sure I still have the key on me.
You put the key back in your pocket.
Definitely. Okay. What do I see in the barn?
Do you want to just slip in and close it behind you, or you want to peek in, or what would you like to do?
I want to close the door behind me.
Okay, you kind of whirl yourself inside to presumably not be seen by anyone from the house. As soon as you step inside, this is a large barn, a 2-story section. Your feet are met by the crunch of hay beneath your feet. As you hear very large, heavy breathing, almost like snorting. As you look up, you are horrified to see what looks like animals. As far as you can tell, cows and horses, but they are not normal cows and horses. As far as you can tell, they are virtually growing like some sort of hell spawn, growing attached to the floor like some kind of organic creep. As you see one of them to the side actually just kind of convulse a little bit and look towards you, and now you realize these are some form of demon spawn animals. There's about 6 of them as far as you can tell. Can't really discern if they're horses or cows.
I don't know what to make of this.
You kind of look at your surroundings a little bit, and you now notice a large selection of empty barrels sitting off to the side.
Do I notice anything about the barrels? Did they have any previous contents in them?
As far as you can tell, they are fresh barrels, like they have not been used.
I'm going to... I don't know. I'm rather grotesque.
Roll perception?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, DM. I'm really shocked right now. I did not expect that one. 13.
And roll for intelligence for me.
19.
Alright. You are not too familiar with demon spawn, but as far as you could tell, these are either demonic, like livestock that have been imported from some other plane, or these were livestock that have been infected of some kind with demonic spawn.
That seems more likely, considering he said he had the issue with the viral chicken infection.
But as far as you can tell, these are demons, or demon
Right.
spawn of some kind. They will follow the same rules as natural demons would. To which you hear one of these horrid creatures bellow as it starts convulsing. And you can only assume that Pharrell's going to come storming back in here.
Oh, no. Is there a place I can hide?
You believe you can find a good spot behind any of these barrels, like in the back. Or in a barrel, frankly. They're sizable enough.
I go way in the back. Way in the back.
You hunker
Behind the
down
barrels.
as far back as you can, as you anticipate for like a good minute before this barn door flings open and he says, "God damn lock!" You hear him mutter to himself. He sets the lantern down as he instantly rushes over to one of these creatures. "Oh yes, yes, yes. Okay, okay, it's okay." As you see him kind of pet this thing. The creature bellows a little bit more, and you hear a good splosh sound. He says, "I'll fix it. I'll fix it." You hear him hurriedly rush over in your direction, grab one of these barrels, rolls it over behind this demon spawn. And let's see here. Are you trying to peek out at what he's doing, or are you trying to stay hidden mostly?
I'm trying to stay hidden. So my efforts are going to be on stealth right now. I am going to just... I can just think about what's going on. I think I understand it at the moment.
You hear some liquid sloshing noises, and you see him, or at least hear him, cap this barrel and roll it back towards the entrance. Set it off to the other side, where you now notice are more barrels set. They do not appear to be empty. As he picks up his lantern and he gives a good look around and he goes, "I need to fix this damn lock," as he storms back out and kind of tries to wedge this door closed as best he can.
Oh, it's a good thing. It seems like he's had issues with this lock before, so that's good. Okay. Now I think I understand what's going on with these animals. They either are demonic or have been possessed by some form of demonic thing. Some sort of disease, demonic something or another. They are literally spawning rot from themselves. Every time they convulse, it seems to me like they are basically dividing on a cellular level, it seems like. That is what I'm getting from this. Oh, great and merciful DM, am I close?
That's what you can perceive.
Okay. Now what to do about this? Actually, I think it would probably be a good idea if I just try and sneak out of the barn, back into my room, and have the council deal with this. But at the same time, the meat didn't used to be like that, so maybe I can find the cause of it. I'm going to stay in the barn for a little bit and look
As you
around.
kind of look around and ponder over what in the world to do, you hear banging on this barn door. Something is knocking.
Knocking?
Viciously. Well, banging, knocking, whatever you want to call it. Something's racking on this door. Very sporadically.
Well, since I can't open it from this side, he's probably trying to fix the lock. He's probably locked it again, so I'm locked in.
He basically tried to wedge this door, like bow the door enough to wedge it against the ground. To just kind of keep it in place.
Gotcha.
The knocking continues. You hear from the other side, "Elf! Elf! Let in! Let in!"
Okay, I run over to the door and try and push it open.
Try to wedge it enough, and Derb falls flat on his face inside. "Close, close, close!" As he
I wedge it back in there.
He's soaking wet because he's still storming outside. "Bad juju," he points to all these things. "Bad juju."
I nod in agreement. Yes, very. Do you happen to know what caused all of this?
Boss man. Boss man, bad juju.
I don't think I'm going to get anything out of him.
Boss man is bad juju.
Oh,
That struck a nerve with you.
that...
You are thoroughly unsettled now.
I am very much unsettled now.
You now think you hear more screaming outside from Farrell. Derb ran. Gert, not good. Gert, hurt bad.
Oh boy. Okay.
He peeks out the barn door, to which you see the, you basically see this cloaked figure kind of trudging its angrily way towards the barn. You're pretty sure he's noticed that his other half-orc's not here. Boss man, boss man, boss man.
Okay, okay. I have an idea. Is the door still kinda wedged open ish?
You freed it enough to openly close it and open it, but you're like peering out of it right now, like through the cracks.
Okay. Is there a way we can both sneak out of the barn real quick?
You did not look for anything like a back door. There is like a loft like to a second story. You haven't fully investigated.
I have him and I go up to the second story.
You quickly
Just
usher
very
up
quickly.
to the second floor. There are a few little hay bale windows leading outside from the second story. You
Okay.
you quickly hear some angry yelling. It sounds different than before. You happen to peer out of the second story window, like over top of the door, and happen to see this cloaked figure standing face to face with sure enough, a firewolf. This thing is growling at Thorell, and you're pretty sure this thing got over the fence or something.
In this instance, I feel like I wish to protect the Firewolf because they might be able to assist. If I let them at the demon spawn, they might eat it.
You see the figure start pointing like it's commanding this firewolf, but roll perception for me.
20.
Okay. You don't have any issue seeing through this rain. Give me intelligence check.
12.
All right. It is a kind of big surprise to you, but you did not have it out of the back of your mind. You now notice these things are not, in fact, firewolves. Now that you think about it, you've never really heard of a firewolf. These things are, in fact, as you can tell, hellhounds.
Joy. I'm dealing with the underworld! Yay!
As far as you can tell, this hellhound is not obeying this cloaked figure. It is looking like it is very upset with it.
So the Hellhound is mad at Pharrell. This is confusing.
You see him yell a few more things and point off in the direction, and to which instantly you see a good gout of fire emerge from his hand and a big whoosh of display as this hellhound kind of cowers back a little bit as he continues storming towards the barn. You hear the door break open. "Where are you?" he shouts out. "I know you're here!" Starts scouring the ground floor.
Okay. Here's what I want to do. I want to try and cast the Plantai at the grass below and make it like a grass ladder up to this edge. Up to the edge of the...
Roll a d20 to see how well you can do that.
Oh, please work. How about 15?
15 will be good enough. You form more or less vines that crawl up the side. You believe you can climb down sturdily enough?
Yes, definitely. What about dirt?
You believe Derb can probably just jump down from the second floor. You believe he won't take much damage if he did so.
Okay, well then I tell him to do so while I'm climbing down.
He instantly just vaults out the door and lands on his feet in the muck below.
I pull down the vines, just to the side. Make it look like it's a little growth around the barn.
You kind of make it down to the ground, and to which you hear the front door of the barn burst back open, like as if he heard that half-orc crash to the ground.
Before I forget, I'm going to do this right. How much mana did that exude?
That'll be another good 20.
I gotta be careful now.
You hear Derb say, "Gotta find Gert, gotta find Gert," as he kind of starts running through the rain back towards the farmhouse. He is like completely abandoned you kind of deal.
That's fine. Does Pharrell notice that I'm there, or is he staring at Derb?
The rain and wind have picked up enough. You cannot. You didn't see him burst out, but you have lost him for the time being. You don't see him anywhere.
Okay then. Oh, what should I do? What should I do? He is the bad person. It is storming too much. Think.
You begin to hear growling around the side of the barn. You peer around just enough to notice that there are 3 or 4 good hellhounds that have torn into these barrels and are just munching on this goo inside. So that completely confirmed your suspicion so far.
Okay.